can start.
Okay. So we choose the emotion sadness to, and my object to represent the feeling sadness is the family picture because it captures the moment and it will last long on that frame. And every time you look at it, the unrequired desire forms somewhere in our mind to go back to those memory days. But the thing is, we cannot go back either to experience or fix it. The form of sadness that lasts long the most is the regretfulness. And the word I choose for to represent as the keyword of this object is moving on.
Yeah. I'm Naravit Chanprapakul. For the object I choose is the calendar page because for me it represent that the number of time that passing by without you have been accomplished anything and the time has been wasted. So that's why I choose the calendar page as the representation of sadness, and I summarize it as a keywords of time.
โอเคครับ for Netipol Sitthichotiertpakdee I select piano. In my opinion, the instrument is object that can represent the two very well. To represent the emotional very well. For the sadness, when you try to imagine it to be a sound, it's like a sound such as low tone, silent, freeze, or cold sound. It's like a song of Beethoven Moonlight Sonata. And for the bass instrument that can represent the theme of sadness sound is a piano. The piano is a main instrument to use in a Moonlight Sonata. And for the keyword I select is a musical. The sadness is musical is the icon to represent the emotional very well, such as when in the birthday party or wedding, it will have the music to make the theme look joy or happy. ครับ
All right. About the visual element that I choose for the word moving on, the first one is butterfly. Um, Butterfly shows us that how we can go within ourselves to dissolve old forms and morphs, rebuilding and evolving ourselves along the way, which is part of our life to evolving and at the same time transforming. And my visual element number two is white lily. You can see a lot of white lily represent in either art or poem. It represents purifying and commitment. And the visual element number three that I choose is flying paper. Because my main object, I choose the photograph, right? So, um, it can capture the memory in a form of image, but at the same time, you can use paper to write the feeling that you feel in that moment on the paper too. And visual element number four, I choose the camera because it's part of the tools to get the picture, as well as visual element number five is which is um, theme. It can work with element number four to create the photograph.
Uh, for the visual elements of time, I choose the first one is the sand clock, and the second one is the pendulum clock, which is clearly the representation of time itself. For the third one, I choose the mushroom because if whenever it's grown on something, the mushroom grown on some object, it could be it mean that that object is very old or at least has been left unmaintained for a very long time. So that's why I choose the mushroom or the third virtual element. For the fourth one, I choose a trophy because it's a proof of the accomplishment that you have been done in the past. So that's why in the past time, so I choose the trophy for the virtual element fourth one. And for the fifth one, I should choose the gear because as long as it works as it should be, the gear will always keep moving as the time passing by. So that's why I choose gear as a representation of time for the fifth element.
Okay, for the musical, the first element is Beethoven. Most of people in the world will know this Beethoven in the name of genius musician. He can create many songs that unique until now. And then one of the songs that can make them famous is a Moonlight Sonata, and that can represent the sadness, emotional. For the scale of the notes, it is a minor scale or scale that can make the sound in a dark tone. It can create the sound to be the sad or lonely. So we can represent this scale to be the sad from the scale of the music. And for the violin and the French horn, it is the instrument that can create that can make a lot of sad song in the world, such as a secret bass. And for the lastly is a lane. I think the sound of the lane can make the mood such as the lonely or sad theme.
Okay, for our picture, the whole key message of the picture is to representing a man that is growing up and moving on from his past successful and talent to living on for a new story. As you can see, the part of the object that is on the below half of the picture is the piano horn or something about his talent and time that is keep falling down. It's with some of them have a mushroom going on it, which is representing that those object and those talent has been very old and has been abandoned, left alone for a very long time, and now it is has been throwing away because the man is moving on forward into the light that is surrounded by a butterfly, which is a representation of moving on. As you can see, there is also the note scale that is trying to bow him but fade away when it reaching him, which is a representation of him that's already moving on and there is no part bounding on him anymore.
For the Symphony number 10, the origin of the name are from the name of the song of Beethoven. When he alive, he created the song Symphony number 1 to number 9, and Symphony number 10 is the new pathway of the life of him. Thank you ครับ
ขอบคุณมากค่ะทีม6เนาะก็มีนาราวิทย์เนติพลแล้วก็อันนี้ชื่อซ้ำเนาะโอเคไม่เป็นไรเดี๋ยวค่อยไปแก้เนาะโอเคค่ะมีใครมีคำถามไหมany question from your classmate you can clearly show that like he moving on okay red graphic display here okay in that case we will continue to group 7 ค่ะ thank you group 6ค่ะ